Hello, again, I'm Hawkwood, again, back with another list of spooky or scary or at least creepy-coded Halloween movies and TV shows. Every year for October, I watch a horror-themed piece of media every night for the whole month, so I've built a bit of a library and a bit more of a specific taste. And now I guess I'm sharing my experiences with a new video every year, introducing you to some interesting and underrated gems that you probably haven't seen. Last year focused mainly on comedy horror, and while there is at least one funny thing on this list, the rest is going to shift pretty hard towards the horror end of the Halloween spectrum. So here they are, and I hope you find something new.
I'm one of the few people you'll meet who've written more books than they've read.
Easing us in with that comedy I was talking about, this wholly unique and absurd show presents itself as the re-released lost media commentated version of an 80s horror television show written by a shameless Stephen King caricature. It stars a couple of the cast members from the IT crowd, and aside from having some of the greatest lines of dialogue ever written,
I'm Dr. Sanchez. You're a woman.
Yes, I hope that's not a problem.
It's also absolutely batshit insane. You have to respect any show where a man will kill a gun by shooting it with a smaller gun. Hey everyone, quick editorial here about Dark Place. Maybe skip episode 3. Or at least look into the trigger warnings before you go into it. It's,
I just think it's very sad that we've had to pixelate out an erection.
It's very British and very weird, so it's not for everyone. But if you aren't afraid to feel uncomfortable and bewildered, this might end up being your favorite new thing.
And apparently more objects are heading this way. Goodbye.
Why are you running?
You could use a little fun.
Batman The Long Halloween has always been one of my favorite graphic novels, and I was surprised to find that DC had released an animated version while I wasn't looking. I was even more surprised to find that it rules. While the quality of DC's live-action franchises can be debated, their animated programs have always been top tier, and this one is no exception. The story takes us through a single year in a self-contained reboot of the franchise, where a young Bruce Wayne learns that being Batman means more than just being strong and being rich. It also means being a detective. It's less of a superhero movie and more of a hard-boiled pulp noir detective movie, as it should be. It also features one of the most gorgeous versions of Gotham this side of the OG TAS.
Who is Holiday and who's next?
Just thought we'd visit while you're here.
We're always here.
You don't need a big budget if you've got a big idea, and The Endless proves it. The two lead actors are also the directors, producers, editors, as well as the writer and cinematographer. The story is about two brothers who return to a cult that they had barely escaped from, only to find that all the members are quite a bit younger than they really should be. The film makes some fantastic use of minimalist effects to deliver some deeply terrifying imagery, like a rope ascending into the sky being pulled by something or nothing. Either option is horrifying, and that's how the whole movie feels. It's a horror movie mystery where every answer just makes everything worse. And if you like this film, then I'd also recommend Resolution, which includes some of the same characters in the same universe and is also fantastic.
Sorry, man.
A quick history lesson for the context of this one. In the early 20th century, kamishibai was a popular form of Japanese street theater featuring illustrated panels, where a narrator would tell a story and voice the characters. In the show, the premise is that we're watching a series of kamishibai performances about Japanese ghost stories. Each episode is extremely short, like literally only a few minutes long, and the presentation is probably different than anything you've ever seen before. At first glance, you might think it's impossible to get invested in such a weird art form, but after you acclimate to it, the animation actually helps to create a deeply unsettling atmosphere. And since each episode is so short, there's really not a reason not to give it a try. Watch it in the dark, and enjoy your time alone.
Mike, why are you scared to come home?
Earlier in the history of the internet, Candle Cove was a creepypasta post presented as a fictional conversation between fictional internet users reminiscing about a creepy television show that they watched as children. Channel Zero is, for some reason, a 6-episode TV show based on this creepypasta post. It absolutely 100% sounds like a dumb idea that shouldn't have worked, but it's number 1 on my list for a reason.
Remember Jawbone?
What is Jawbone?
This show is absurdly well done.
Mike.
He was this old skeleton thing in a robe and a black hat.
The writing, acting, and directing are all phenomenal, and it's exactly my favorite type of scary, which is psychological and unsettling without resorting to jump scares or loud noises just to manufacture a fear response in the audience. I was hooked within the first few minutes. Every scene is tense and disturbing, whether it's from the unnatural way people stand in a room or the way creepy events are just casually dismissed.
I've been having nightmares.
So that's why you came back.
This is probably my favorite thing I've watched all year. So that's it for this year. I hope you found something you like. Let me know if you did. And if you know of something creepy you think I'd like, please leave it in a comment. I am burning through 31 movies or episodes a year, so your recommendations will be very appreciated. And as a bonus spooky thing, check out the song Lake Pontchartrain by the band Ludo. It's a spooky ghost story about a road trip through New Orleans.
That's where you will get to see everything the water can be.
Happy Halloween.